It's been 180 days since I cleaned out my pantry with everything that had any added sugar in it. So I have been trying to focus on the last 6 months of only having things that have natural sugars in them, like fruit, or also things that have stevia or monk fruit. Everything else is like off limits, especially if it says no added sugar and it's got like sucralose or something like that. Welcome, I'm Amy, and I am on the never ending cycle of trying to give up sugar and just eat healthier. I thought by now I'd be thinner, like 20 pounds lighter, but metabolism in your 40s isn't the same as like when you used to be younger, unfortunately. I thought I would be like happier because of this, and I thought I would be feeling amazing. But what actually happened was a lot more complicated. And honestly, some of it surprised me. At the 3 month mark, I was still the same weight. Cravings had shifted. I was feeling frustrated. It felt like literally nothing was happening, except something was changing. I just couldn't actually see it. So since month 3, I have had a steady change in my energy levels, and I have a lot fewer cravings. Not all the cravings are gone, but now I've noticed that my cravings have kind of shifted to being something more like steak or like protein and like sweet potatoes. My gosh, I love sweet potatoes. I don't really like sit there and crave like, oh man, I really want a cookie or I really want some cake or something like that like I used to, which is super weird, but also kind of cool because I never thought I would get to like this spot in life where I'm like, oh, I'm okay with not having cake. Or actually, like, even the other day, like I was super stressed out, and I tend in this last 6 months to still lean on eating emotionally, or when I'm like high stress, like that's when I feel like, oh my gosh, I just want something. And we had these we had these cake pops on the counter, and I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm stressed out, I'm gonna have one of these. So I literally took a bite of it, and while it wasn't like the best flavor, it wasn't bad, and normally I would have just eaten it. But I was like, this is so overly sweet. Like it almost made me feel gross. And so I literally like spit it out in the trash. I didn't even finish it. And I'm like, who the crap am I? Like, what is happening? I've never done that before. Like, I do find myself going off and on of like letting myself have a little indulgence. For Mother's Day or my kid's birthday, I had a little bit of like key lime pie that they got from the restaurant, a few bites. Okay, I don't feel like this is the end of the world. I don't feel like I'm going to spiral out of control. It was like, this is enough. It's super freaking sweet, and I don't think I want any more. The next day, I was okay not having sugar, and I'm like, what is happening? Like my body is not like craving it all the time, even though I still let myself have some a little bit, but it's very, very few and far between. So that's kind of led me to believe like the biggest shift for me wasn't physical, it was more of the emotional side of it. Like I learned that I was using sugar to cope. I had some devastatingly awful things happen in the last 6 months. Like I lost my dog. We sold our house, sold everything, and like bought an RV. And this is like our new house, and we're traveling around. And like that's only been like a month, and the stress from that, let me tell you, is like super high. But I was using sugar as a way to cope, even during that grief period. I surprised myself because I didn't like use sugar to like numb that pain. I kind of like faced those emotions, and like even now, like when I feel emotional or sad, like I'll just feel the feelings instead of like eating the feelings. And that is like a huge win for someone who is like overly emotional for their entire life. When I lost my dog in those high stress emotional days, like I did slip up a little bit, but I didn't stay there. I wasn't like stuck in that spot and like spiraled out of control. I was able to get myself back on track by recognizing like how sugar was making me feel, and like how it wasn't totally like the best thing for me right then. And I just like kept reminding myself, like, this isn't going to help me overall. Like, I'm going to be mad about it later. So I just had to remind myself of like why I'm doing this and like giving up sugar, like for the health reasons. I don't remember. It's been like 4 or 5 months that my husband got me like this stuff for digestion. So I've been taking that, and that kind of helps curbs cravings in the morning if they're even there. And then I start out by adding extra protein to my coffee, which has been incredible because that helps me feel full. And so then I don't even want food. I do have specific snacks that I keep on hand, like IQ bars, and I love apples and peanut butter, so I always try to keep those on hand for myself. It's just like little tips and things like that that I use to keep going. So like keeping like healthy snacks. And I have this whole playlist that I'm putting together of like sugar-free snacks that I'm trying, just so I can recommend like the best ones for you, so you're not buying something like this is disgusting. It is sugarholic, tried and tested. Days that is kind of awkward are days where like we go and visit family, or family comes over, or friends come over and they're like super into, or not super into, that's the wrong word. I don't know what I'm saying. And like they've made this dessert, or there is dessert, and I feel a little bit nervous of myself, but it's been easier and easier going like the last 6 months to be able to just say no, like, oh no thanks, I don't want dessert. And like I still feel sometimes that I have to give a reason why, but like coming into my own, being able to just say like, no thanks, I don't want it, and that being an enough reason, okay, like they don't have to keep asking me. And I think that's also all in my head of like, people don't care if I have that or not. It's not going to affect them. Like it's just me thinking that way. So I'm still working on changing that thought process. So the biggest turning point for me was I have these pair of jeans that probably still feel to fit the same. I haven't tried them on again in a while, but like putting those on, it was like, it's like, it's not about like weight loss and like how I look. It's more about like how I feel and feeling comfortable in my own skin. And I feel like that has started to change a lot. And it's been really nice. It almost feels like I can like breathe and do things without sugar clouding my head. I've realized I'm stronger than I ever thought I could be. My anxiety is lower, except for like getting used to like living in a new place and like driving around your house and hoping nothing happens to it. Like that's a whole different kind of feeling, but I still don't feel myself like pulling for sugar or desserts. Like this is like, it is incredible. Like it feels so good. Like I'm a new human. I'm a new human. And even though I'm not perfect, I am like present. I don't feel like that looming pull over me. And it's just, I love it. If I could go back and tell myself something 6 months ago, I would say, don't be afraid of the failures, because there are going to be some. You'll mess up. There's going to be days that are really hard. There's going to be days that feel like you can't do it. But you'll surprise yourself, and one day you'll feel proud even if the scale hasn't moved, and it hasn't, but that's okay. This is a long game. I am not quitting by any means, and I don't feel like I have failed. I feel like this has been an overall like successful 6 months, and like improving my health. It's like it feels good. So I've now added more exercise into it. So we'll see how that goes for the next few months. I'm definitely focusing on getting more protein, and I feel like that's made a huge difference. I was supposed to start weight training 3 months ago, but since life was like so crazy, I'm going to try to start doing that now at least a couple times a month, just to try to get like that like the muscles are supposed to help with metabolism, so maybe that will help with my weight loss. This is to take care of future me, and future me is going to thank me right now for all of the stuff that I've been doing and just pushing through for. I'm going to link the avoid sugar list that I made to help me clean out my pantry, and I'll put that in the description. So if you're in your 40s and trying to quit sugar, It's not magic, but just stick with it. You'll get there. I promise you, your future self will thank you, and she is worth it. Check out this playlist up here to see a bunch of the sugar-free snacks that I've been buying to help keep me on track. Did I say sugar snacks? I don't know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.